Ben, how's that sound? So we've got 11 people here. Guys, just let me know if you can hear me okay. Awesome, awesome. Loud and clear. Good afternoon, everyone. Homegrown Herps, Armor Key Reptiles, Ben, John, Steve Munn. We can hear you. Awesome. That's superb. So, Rude Dog. Um, So first things first, obviously you guys all meet and greet each other. SPR Pythons, evening matey, SGT Bear, loads, Luz Balls, holla. Okay, so yeah, couple of things. I'm going to give a shout out to a few people that I want you guys maybe to check out their YouTube channel. The first one being SPR Pythons. Check out R. McKee Reptiles, which is Ross McKee. Also, there's a few more I want you guys to check out, which I'll let you guys know as soon as they jump on board. So, how to conduct ourselves. So, this is by nowhere means me slating anyone. This is something that I just want to put out there for you guys to have a think about and just take on board exactly how it may look from another perspective. And one of those topics I'm going to touch on is the giveaways or the raffling of animals. And it's straightforward. I've done giveaways before. I did it with John Layman of Morph Market. Um, but it's what it's for. So in other words, it's how we give something away. So know who live on this beautiful, wonderful island. We have this ability to really love animal. You know, we're animal lovers. Okay, so and if we are being seen to breed animals for money, it can be seen or deemed as very frowned upon. So even though I believe, in my eyes, if it's done correctly for the right reasons, then it's not a bad thing. It's perfectly fine. So going back to the giveaways. So the first thing I see is a lot of new, fresh people to the hobby thinking that the giveaway is the way to get followers. And myself never did any giveaway to gain followers. It was to promote something. So in other words, when John Layman wanted to launch the morph market here in the UK or the European version, he basically contacted me and said, Gav, can we do something together um, where we can sort of help each other and bring the community together. And off the back of that morph market being launched, we now have a reptile forum on Morph Market, which is full of information. Great people on there. It kind of reminds me of the good old days. So, with that being said, if a giveaway is being done, I believe if you're giving away an animal or raffling off an animal, it shouldn't be to gain followers or to gain subscribers. For me, and again, this is my take. It doesn't have to be everyone's take. For me, it should be about giving back. So, in other words, if I did a giveaway, it'd be something that I'd want to give back to my supporters. I'd want to give that back and say, listen, thanks for following me. Thanks for supporting the channel. I want to give you guys a chance to win an animal. Okay. If I'm going to suggest doing a giveaway to gain subscribers or followers, then giving away stuff like t-shirts, merchandise, stickers, you know, those sort of things. Even here's a good one. So last year I did a giveaway of a voucher, a gift voucher that they could spend either on merchandise for the balls to you or an animal. And they had to do a few things. They had to come and see me at the show, take a picture, post it on Instagram, that sort of thing. But it wasn't an animal direct. Now, what we do see a lot of is the minute an exotic animal is mistreated or left dumped, it sort of, it brings it up to the limelight. And because of it being an exotic pet, it's sort of really, really done. It really brings us as a community, a reptile community, not ball pythons, reptiles, under the limelight. And one thing I won't do, or I try not to do, is repost the negative things that people send me. So in other words, I'll get sent a link about someone leaving 12 snakes in the cold to die. It's very sad, very unfortunate. But because I have a lot of followers, I don't want to bring that to the attention of the people who are following me. I don't want them to see the negative that surrounds us. And I know most people will say, yeah, but we don't want this to happen. You're right, we don't want it to happen. But at the same time, we don't want to keep posting it to make it seem like it's always happening. So maybe if we educate people on the husbandry or maybe the upkeep of an animal, that we can prevent this from happening. Prevention is better than a cure. So what I'm trying to say about this is, there's a lot of people, when I did the giveaway with John Lehman, who were questioning, how would I be able to make sure that that animal goes to a good home? And the one thing that I do when I did do that, I made sure that the people who were entering the competition were breeders. Not, it wasn't going to be like a brand new pet for them. It was going to be, a breeder. I'm a breeder. I want to give back to the breeders and support John Lehman for the morph market. Um, So, and again, that's not me dogging on anyone that's doing any giveaway or raffle at this moment. I'm just trying to say to you guys, if we do something like this, just think outside the box. Just think a little bit how it may look from the outside looking in, because you are representing the reptile community as a whole. So, if we show that we go around giving away snakes willy nilly, then it doesn't show a responsible breeder. It doesn't show us as a responsible community. And then all of a sudden, we may have the government trying to impose laws, etc., etc. So, I don't mean to be this. Again, I'm not sort of dogging on anyone or hating anyone or anything like that. I just want to say to you guys, if you are going to do a raffle, if you are going to do a giveaway, think about what you're giving away and how you're going to pronounce it, or represent it to the world, if you like, or you know don't do it just to get followers, because it's not easy getting followers. I admit this. I've really worked hard at the channel. I've worked hard at Instagram. And those are the two things that I really do try and post regularly. I try and be positive. I try and get the information out there. And this takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and all that sort of stuff. Um, you know, just because you get followers doesn't mean you're going to be able to sell snakes. That's the other thing. So maybe people think that when they get followers, that they're going to be able to sell the byproduct of the clutches that they produce. Um, Not necessarily. It's kind of, you got to build yourself, your reputation as a breeder. And it doesn't matter how many giveaways you do or raffles you do, it's not going to build you as a reputation as a breeder. You don't gain respect or followers, I believe, in that sense. I think my opinion is, I'd rather post an animal every once a week, maybe, or twice a week, and try and show people, um, what we are, beautiful animals, what you've created, what you hope to make, what you're growing this snake up to. I want to grow this snake up and breed it to this snake to produce X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of, it's hard work. There is no there is no shortcut to success. And Justin Ozzy and many other people out there, Mark Mendek and many other people out there, have put blood, sweat, and tears into where they are now. And just because you've got loads of followers on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever your platform may be, doesn't mean you're going to be able to sell the byproduct of the clutches that you produce, which leads me into my next topic, which is about think about what you are producing. You know, the last thing you want is to be, produce 20 clutches and not be able to sell most of those babies. So you've got to create that market. You've got to create your foundations, which is you as a breeder, the um, the products that you believe in, and I mean products because we can talk about this as a general, business type topic or a general hobby. Mark says it best: you don't go into business, you grow into business, and you don't go into a hobby, you grow into a hobby. And there's a lot of people out there who have done things the right way, and it's proven them to be very successful. People like Miguel, always evolving pythons. We were chatting today, and the long and short of it is, he's just released a video, and he's just mentioned that this clutch that he produced was his most lucrative, let's say, clutch of all time. And the guy has worked hard. Miguel contacted me before he was AEP, before he had a couple of videos up on YouTube, and we were talking, throwing stuff backwards and forwards. And over the years, me and Miguel have become good friends. Um, and Miguel has sort of done it he's sort of, yes, he's invested money, a lot of money, and that'll bring me into another topic where the UK market is completely different to the US and Canada market, not in a bad way, just different. And what you've got to remember is the people who you may see on YouTube, if you're in the UK and you're watching some of the Americans or the Canadian YouTubes, it's a different market to ours, completely different. I've been to Tinley, I've been to Canada, been to Toronto. I've seen how they do things, I've seen how they sell things, and I see how things work there as well as here. And for me, like I said, it's all about being responsible, being uh, building those foundations. You as a breeder, building your platform, building yourself into the hobby. Grow nice and steady into the hobby. There is no fast way. There is no, oh, quick, let's go out and give this snake away and we'll get 10,000 followers or X, Y, and Z. It doesn't work that way. Really doesn't. My Instagram currently is at 19,000, and I'm absolutely buzzing because I can't wait to hit that 20,000 mark. That's a lot of hard work. If you look, I started Instagram 2014, I believe. And yeah, what are we now? 6 years down the line, blood, sweat, and tears. It's what you got to remember. So don't think that giveaways are a bad thing, but you've also got to think about what you're doing and how and the reasons why you're doing it, basically. So just want to put that out there. Not a bad thing, not dogging on anyone. Keep doing what you're doing. Just make sure you're doing things the correct way and the right way. Okay. So we're going to jump onto the chat now. I just want to welcome a few people on. We've got DK Royal Pythons. My man Kev's in the house. We've got Gray's Reptiles. Good to see you. We got Brian, biggest fear producing babies and animals will end up. Yeah, and there's another one. So Brian's brought up the biggest fear, or his biggest fear, is producing of babies where my animals are going to end up, i.e., mistreated, etc., etc. That is a very difficult one. A lot of people struggle with that, and that's why predominantly for me, I want to sell to a breeder. Um, and I mean that with greatest respect because even breeders sometimes can mistreat animals. But um, if you produce, you've got to get out your head that you don't care where the baby's going. You're just making the money. If you are, as Ozzy puts it, a bit of a boutique breeder, um, who like Justin, Ozzy, and Mark, you designer, you design these snakes, you take your time and effort, then yes, you going to be able to sell them, but they're going to go to a particular breeder, probably the next tier down, someone who wants to get in that project. So, and when there's a lot of money involved, when those guys sell animals, it's a lot of money. So if I was to spend a lot of money on that snake, I'm going to make sure that snake is going to have the best food, the best bedding. Everything's going to be tip top condition. Uh, It is anyway, but you get my drift. You've got to kind of like think, don't produce too many, and just like I said, just work on the projects you're interested in, because that way you're not going to have so many byproducts. So a little bit off topic, but let's get back on. So we got who else we got? I've just seen Ridiculous Royal Pythons. How's it going? Balls and Strikes. Michael Ross. We got who else? I just saw someone else. So currently we have got 50 people listening in and joining in. We got Oregon Exotic Balls, Mutant Morphs. Good to see you, dude. Loads are in the house. So, just going back very quickly over a few bits and pieces, we got Golden Bite Reptiles, we got R&B Reptiles, loads of people. So, another topic has been brought to my attention this week, and that is people mis-selling animals. And I don't mean mis-selling morphs. I also mean mis-selling, as in the quality of the animal. So in other words, the animal they've received is underweight or under the weight than advertised. And we're not talking 50 grams or 100 grams. We're talking a couple of 100 grams, and the animal has turned up very dehydrated. However, we still seem to have this mentality that it's okay because I've brought it at a bargain price. You know where I'm going to go with this. So it comes down to that same old thing. We all love a bargain. I love a bargain as much as everyone else. And when I get discount, or, wherever I'm at, wherever it be, in Birmingham City, or if I'm wherever I am, if I get discounts, I'm happy. We all love discounts. But when we're talking about investing, and this is the key word, investing your hard earned money into an animal, people are buying from breeders who don't really have much of a great foundation to begin with, or they don't know them. So, in other words, they're buying directly from these people, and they don't really know anything about this breeder. And they've advertised a snake, it's X, Y, and Z. It's got these genes, it's this many grams, and then it turns up, it's dehydrated, it's under the weight, drastically under the weight, and it doesn't contain those genes. And what gets me is the people who buy these animals sort of shrug the shoulders and go, "Oh well, I had it at a bargain price. It was cheap." I get it all the time from the reptile shows. People buy a snake and then it dies 2 weeks later, or they buy it and it's got mites or it's got a respiratory problem, and then they say to me, "Yeah, yeah, I brought this snake and it's got a respiratory." Okay, what did you say to the breeder? Have you told the breeder? Have you contacted the breeder? Yeah, but he did it me at a good deal, and you know what? Yeah, I think I'm just going to take it to the vets. Okay, it's great, love it. Take it to the vets. It's now going to cost you a consultation charge and some antibiotics of easily £80 or above. So now that money you saved on that snake is now costing you more money. And now, not only now have you got a snake with RI or with mods, it's potentially going to, if you haven't quarantined it, it's going to cross contaminate your collection. So not only now, if you brought a cheap snake, you've now contaminated or possibly cross contaminated your collection. There is no such thing when I believe, when it comes down to animals. A lot of my customers, they've come to me time and time again, and for me, I do give my customers, regular customers, discount, because time and time again, like Ozzy does with me or Justin does with me, many people who I buy from time and time again will give me a discount. And that's something as well, when you build yourself up as a breeder, um, that's one of the foundations, customer service, keeping your customers happy. And a lot of my customers, I kind of take under the wing, and I treat as friends because I'm just that type of person. It's not because I want to sell them more snakes. In fact, some of my friends or work customers who are now my friends come to my house. They tell me, Gav, don't show me no more snakes, and I don't want to show them snakes because I don't want them. I don't want to. I don't want them to buy things just because they're there. I want them to buy them because it will further their project. And whether they buy from me or someone else, it doesn't matter. As long as it's to further their projects or to further their collection, happy days. And that's something that I really do believe in. So just be mindful when you are buying these snakes. Be mindful where you're getting them from. You know, is this person a reputable breeder? Ask around, ask the community. Has anyone brought from this person? Does anyone know this breeder? Has anyone had any experiences with this breeder? Because it will make a difference. Trust me. So let's get back into the chat room. Let's have a look. Hence my small circle. Yes, Kev, that is right. We got BBM Reptiles. We got some great chats going on. Majestic Serpents. We got Tina. Who else we got? Michael Ross. Uh, yeah, loads and loads of people just chatting. And this is the one thing that I love. We all come together. We've all got our own opinions, and it's not. I'm one of these people where I'll never push my opinion on someone. I'll always say, this is what I do. It may help you, it may not, I don't know, but this is what I do. So this is something good. Like I said, never sort of what's the word? Never be afraid to air your opinion, but just think about that's your opinion. It may not be someone else's. It doesn't matter. It's like people who support different football teams or whatever. Doesn't matter. So let's get into the chat. So, what I'm going to do, guys, um, I'm going to Golden Boy Reptiles. I'm going to ask you guys, is there any questions you want to ask me? So, I know you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. So, what I want you to do, if there's a particular question you want to ask me and you're not discussing it with each other uh, in the chat room, just please put a comment there and just put hashtag balls to you or hashtag Gav, whatever. So I know that question then is aimed at me. So let's have a look. So just quickly, Malcolm, Gavin, do you think the recent dumping of royals and now the corn snakes in Sunderland is going to have a knock-on effect to the hobby? Yeah, so I'll just discuss that very quickly at the beginning. So um, is it going to be a problem? Yes and no. I believe it's just a real small percentage of someone who's had these snakes can't keep them and just decided to dump them. Even if they offered those snakes at a really reduced price or handed them into a shelter, this is the other thing. We can educate people and say, "What? Where's my nearest reptile shelter?" And we don't always know what's happened their end. We don't know if someone's accidentally lost them. I know it sounds hard to believe, but possible. And you imagine going to the papers and saying, "Yeah, I've just lost 12 snakes. Can someone help me find them?" Yeah. So they may have lost him. I don't know. We don't know the ins and outs. All we know is it doesn't look good for the hobby. And obviously, the best thing we can do is when we do sell our snakes to people, is just sort of, go into a bit of detail, find out this person, find out who they are. And hopefully they're all stable and everything's all good. So I don't think it'll have a massive effect, but I do believe we need to look at it and sort of maybe address a few things. So let's go back to the questions. So, DK Royals, Reef's question. Where's Reef? Is this all about breeding? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's get that question back. So, but I did see one. Uh, BBM Reptiles, how's your season going? Absolutely awesome. Bang on track. Girls are swelling up lovely. We've got the males who are breeding, locking every time. It's absolutely going awesome. So everything is on track. Fingers crossed. Pushing my projects further forward. So that's what we love. Let's have a look. So Michael Ross has asked Gavin, I thought my girl had a prelay shed. Is it possible they will eat after a prelay shed, or is this probably probably didn't ovulate yet? Yes, I have had a female eat in between a prelay shed and the laying of eggs. So it's possible. All I can say is follow your data, and this is where paying attention to your animals. Keep track on your data. Keep looking at them animals. I look at my females during the breeding season once in the morning, once in the evening. I go through all 56 breeding females and I check on them every day, every morning. Come downstairs, grab a cup of coffee, straight in that reptile room, checking out the females. Get back home. One of the first things I do from work is go into that reptile room and check those snakes and make sure that everything's all good. And I do catch things where I didn't catch them in the morning, I do catch them in the evening. So if you are breeding your females, just keep an eye on them. At least do two checks, once in the morning, once on the evening. So let's have a look. Uh, so there's one question. Let's see. A few days ago. Okay. Balls and strikes pythons. I saw someone posting a spider to spider pairing on Instagram a few days ago, and I know you had a video on the lethal combos before. Are you planning on doing any updates on that or to add any other problem morphs? So that's kind of a two-part question, but let's have a look at that in a bit more detail. So I saw a spider to spider pairing and lethal combos. So this is the one thing that I will say many breeders do spider to spider without the problems. Now, if you put a spider to a champagne or a spot nose to a champagne or a champagne to, uh, I don't know, hidden gene Woma, you can produce pearls more than you can spider to spider. I did spider to spider one year back in the day. Again, no issues whatsoever, no pearls. And I'll put it out there because I'm not afraid to admit it that I did do it. I was a bit unaware of the spider issues at the time. However, knowing what I know now, being a responsible breeder, I won't do that just in case. But I know plenty of breeders out there, even to this day, who still do spider to spider with zero issues. Um, Spot nose to spot nose, champagne spot nose to hidden gene Woma. For some reason, pearls keep getting, you get more pearls. It's more of a regular thing. I don't know why. I don't know. It's something to do with the genetics. I don't know. Just quickly, I will be trying to get Travis Wiseman on here doing a live stream. If you don't know Travis, Travis is an absolute. What he doesn't know about genetics is not worth knowing. And Travis used to be Splendy Eye on the Bush League Breeders' Club, and anyone who remembers the Bush League Breeders' Club was Travis was the man to go to for genetics and explaining things. So hopefully we can get him on this little sort of live stream soon. So let's get back over. Am I planning? So the other second part of that question was, am I planning on doing an update to that and to add to other problem morphs? Yes, I will. However, it will take a bit of time to add to that because we're still doing a lot of breeding with a lot of animals that we suspect may have issues, and we're just looking into that. So there will be other things. Obviously, as soon as I find stuff out that's not quite right, I always try and put it out there for you guys just to pre-warn you so you don't go ahead and make that mistake. Okay, let's have a look. So, uh, we currently have 64 people in the house. Hello, all 64 people. Um, let's just have a quick look. Uh, everyone's having a bit of banter, which is good. Banter is good, guys. Okay. Uh, um, so I can't quite read the person's name two something or other. Anyway, are there any rules of line breeding or inbreeding? No, there isn't. As a breeder, we have a unofficial rule of 5 generations, and we try and outbreed it. Line breeding is done in the wild. It happens in a lot of other species. It happens with no ill effects. Here, as breeders, again, trying to be responsible breeders, we try and do the 5 generation thing, where, or 5 years. We try and outbreed that particular animal. It's been done in dogs for years and years, line breeding. Who's to say what issues it's going to cause in the future? So, but for now, there isn't. We just try and do, I try and go for 3 years, like breeding, I don't know, son to grandparent, sorry, grandson to grandparent. That's probably about as far as I'll go. But normally by then, you've probably got lots of holdbacks, which you can swap and change and do all sorts of uh, outbreeding. So, yeah. Let's just have a quick look. Who we got else? So, Gavin, firstly, I want to say, Doc's Deep South Constrictors. Firstly, I want to say you were my first YouTube subscription. Thank you very much. When I first started, over a year ago, here I am waiting on my first clutch this season, and thanks for the passion. Listen, congratulations. Hopefully, you enjoy it and you want to keep doing it more. But that's fantastic. That's great to see. Awesome. So, any more questions? If I'm missing any, golden constrictors, what's up? Thanks for the stickers, by the way, dude. And I'll just touch on this subject. I know a lot of people have been asking me for stickers. I'm currently waiting on some coming in, and I have got inundated with sticker requests that I've kind of fallen behind. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to address it in a video, and there's going to be a special email address for you guys to email your address. So it's all in one place, and I can just basically send those sticker packs out. But yeah, thanks for your patience, guys. There are some stickers being made as we speak. Okay, so just put that out there. Uh, Michael Rock, glad to catch you live. I can't find much info on the Congo gene. Do you have any experience with this gene? The Congo gene, no. So I can't. I'm not even going to pretend I know. I don't know. Unfortunately, dude, I don't. Sorry. Uh, yeah, I mean, so this will obviously stay up on my channel. If you guys want to go back and have another listen, or watch it again tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, um, let's just have a look. What's this? Okie dokie. Right, Darren Hughes. Darren's in the house. Hello, neighbor constrictors. Uh, giving. Are you going to the next ham show? I presume that's Gavin, Darren. I believe it's in March. Me and Kevin was just talking about it. I don't think I'm going to make it. I want to go to Halton, and you guys will see why I don't think I'm going to make it very soon. But it's all for a good cause. So unfortunately, I might miss this ham show. Um, so let's have a look. So, Marco, what do you think will be the next hyped morph? That's a good one. Possibly either Wookiee. We got the Zuwadi gene, which is making appearance. The Wookiee, um, the Hurricane. There's a few people in the Hurricane gene. So yeah, those three I think will be some interesting combos coming soon. For me, I'm still excited about the Cypress. I just put my Cypress Ivory male in with a Mojave female, a Cos Mojave female, and I was looking at my Ivory cypress the other day, and he looks like he may have something else. I got it from Ozzy, so I keep meaning to ask Ozzy what the pairing was, but he looks like he might have something else. So I'm hoping to produce some cypress combos this season. So I'm really excited still about the cypress. Let's have a look. Check it again sometime. Okay, what I want you guys to do, if you have an Instagram, okay, and I'm going to say Instagram because you guys know I'm not a fan of Facebook. If you've got an Instagram, drop your handle on the bottom here, drop it in the chat. And if you guys wouldn't mind just checking each other out, maybe following each other, showing each other that support, because it seems like you guys are having great banter, and that's what it's all about. That makes us equal for getting the name wrong last time. Yes, it does, Darren. I'm apologise. You bang on right. Yep, yeah, it's all good. And this is a lot of people don't understand humor or banter, should I say? And yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Balls out, ball pythons, Mark. Great to see you. Finally, I caught you live feed. Hey, brother. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Hopefully, looking forward to your videos this season, mate. Trust me, he's gonna have some great stuff. Duh, duh, duh. Any more questions? That's good. Brummy balls. Nathan's in the house. That's it. Put your handles down. Kevin, sort out your handle. It's at. Put the hat sign. Scott, how you doing, Scott? Yeah. Yellow belly, hurricane, het pied should be being produced at neighbours constrictors this season. Yeah, fingers crossed, Darren. Looking forward to seeing what you and Eric produce. Let's have a look. Jamie, what is the purpose of this live? Just getting people together, mate. Chatting, talking about snakes. That's what it's all about. And having a quick beer as well. That's good. So, uh, absolutely awesome. So we got 63 people. We got 27 thumbs up. We're almost into 40 minutes. What kind of beer? It's a special um, imported beer. I'm not being sponsored by these people. I ought to. Directly from Aldi. It's the best place to shop. Okay. Let's have a look. Right. Need to go back and watch the beginning of the video. Yeah, Majestic Serpents. You need to go back and watch the beginning of the video when you put it today and some great points. Yep. Thanks, Majestic Serpents. Like I said, this beer is just this beer. This I've got beer on the brain. This live chat is just really sort of off the cuff, chatting about things, getting a few things off my chest, not so much a rant, but more of a what I've noticed over the last week or two and how I feel we can do things better. That's what this live chat is all about. Go back, give it a watch, and hopefully it makes sense. Some super hurricanes. Yeah, sweet snakes. Hoping to produce super hurricanes, GHI hurricanes, blackhead hurricanes, OD extreme gene hurricanes. And yeah, that's awesome. Really, the hurricane gene does look awesome, to be fair. So let's have a look. What else we got going on? Thank you, Marco. Uh, yeah, as Jennifer said, speaking with people all over the world, and that's the good thing about this community and this hobby. The one thing I've learned is I've made very, very good friends all over the world. And I know if I landed in any of these countries where these people are, they would help me in it without a second's thought. They would help me. If I landed and I didn't have any money or something happened, I know these people in these countries would help me and rally round after me. And this is the reptile community that's done this. This is us talking and being positive and all that sort of good stuff. So okay. So a couple of good remedies there. The The non-invasive way of treating mites with the olive oil, that's really good. Glad it helped. Uh, any other questions? Pinstripe. Let's. I have a spare room, bro. Thanks, bro. uh, do you like snake bites? As in snake bites TV, or are we talking snake bites as in beer or lager and cider? Which one? Right. Hi, Gavin. You mentioned at the Donny show last year about you think temps don't have to be so high. Yeah, so that's a great one. Mutant morphs. Yeah, I do believe we are keeping our ball pythons a little bit too high regarding temperatures. I have certainly seen over the years and collected data to prove this. And I've also spoken to veteran breeders over the years who we all agree that maybe we've been keeping our babies or our ball pythons, let's say, too hot. And I'm going to go over a few things. So the females, the males, and the babies, treat them as three separate entities. Um, I tend to keep my females at one temperature, my males at another temperature, and my hatchlings at another temperature. I find the hatchlings need to be slightly warmer. My females tend need to be sort of slightly cooler, and then I keep my males round about in the middle. But yeah, I do think we've been keeping them too warm. I'm not going to put the temperatures out there just yet because I want to see how this season goes to grab the data from this season and add it to the previous seasons. So once I've got the data this season, fingers crossed, I'll be able to put them information out there and help you guys maybe to dial in your breeding. So, Gavin. Okay, I'm struggling with temps in my new rack. Let's have a quick look. I'd like to hear your opinion on super black pastels or super cinnamon. So, Darren asked, I'd like to hear your opinion on super black pastels or super cinnamons pairings, as I've seen a lot of negative posts over the last couple of days on face ache. Simple. Delete face ache. Come away. You don't need it, Darren. Step away. You're okay. You're doing okay. You're doing amazing on Instagram, mate. Okay. Right. Couple of things with that question. I tend to find there are lines of cinnamon and lines of pastel which don't do great. So I had a female cinnamon from way back in the day, and she kept giving me parthenogenesis clutches. For me, I sold her as a pet, not to be bred ever again, as this was the reason. However, my other cinnamon girl that I have, she has she's done amazing. She does not throw any issues. I've bred another cinnamon combo to her over the years. Again, yes, you get the standard duck billing, but I presume you're talking about, drastic kinking and all that sort of stuff. I've not had that, and I do believe there's different strains of cinnamon or different strains of black pastel, and they are two different things, and there is a difference between the two, and you can see a difference. But again, I'll try and cover that in a video. So again, good strong lines of the black pastel or the cinnamon you won't have an issue with, and those people who may be dogging it or giving a negative spin on it is either um, they've had one occurrence and probably haven't bred enough or seen enough, or they've just jumped on the bandwagon of someone else saying, "Yeah, you shouldn't breed it," and da da da, which we see a lot of. People jump on the bandwagon of spider and X, Y, and Z, and dog it down, and really then they've never even bred a snake before in their life. So I think get good lines of cinnamon, good lines of black pastel. I don't certainly have any issues. I've never, well, apart from that one female, which I then sold as a pet. But since then, this female, and that's why one of the reasons I'm kind of reluctant to let her go, even though she's just a single gene cinnamon, she is such a fantastic snake, and she produces absolutely awesome babies, and the quality of her is phenomenal. So yeah, I hope that answers the question, mate. Those are my thoughts. Breed, if you do have an issue, and this could be with any morph, any mutation out there, if you do have an issue, don't breed it. As in, like, if it's coming out with kinks or if it's coming out deformed, and that happens on regular basis, it's a fly, happens on regular seasons, then my advice is just don't breed it anymore. Just sell it on as a pet. Okay. So, I'm aiming for Tinley in October, so good people I'd love to meet. Yeah, so hopefully I should be in Tinley this October. Fingers crossed, all being well. That's one of my pins for this season as well. Darren, unfortunately, negativity seems to work in its way into every part of social media. I don't really see it on Instagram, mate. Don't see. You get it on bit on YouTube, nothing crazy. But the best thing is with YouTube, I've actually found a way how we can trace their um, their email address or their handle. We can trace that, but that's another one. But anyway, I don't see that much negativity, to be perfectly honest with you, with Instagram. That's my sports. Um, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So Doc's deep safe constrictors. I'm a veterinarian. Want to talk about garbage genetics? Let's discuss dog breeds. Yeah, we know there's a lot of issues with dog breeds. So many issues, pelvic issues on some breeds, legs, um, loads and loads, alopecia, or what we would call almost um, like skin issues, that sort of thing. So there's lots of issues. It is sad. I've done so, Darren. Just going off what you've just said, I've done several pairings where I could have produced supers, and I've never had a problem. Not saying it doesn't happen. So yeah, mate, it could just be the fact that you're using great lines, and that's what it's all about. Uh, so Rachel, I think Instagram is a much nicer place. Yes, I agree. Who else? Hi, Gavin. If I'm Hi, Gavin. If I breed my spider posset candy to any other gene, would the hatchlings be pos 50%? No, they'd just be possets. Get away from that 50 or 66% chance. If you don't prove out that candy, it will always be a posset, and the babies will always be a posset. So just drop the 50% possets or the 66% possets. Just straight posset candy. My advice would be, if you do have an animal that is a posset or even a het, always prove that out, so at least you know what you're working with. So who else going? Do you own any retics? Uh, uh, yes, KY constrictors and exotics. Sorry, yeah, constrictors and exotics. Gavin, do you own any retics? Do you plan on getting into bigger snakes? No, I don't plan on getting bigger snakes. And yes, I do own a retic, and it's currently over at Miguel's place over at AEP, Always Evolving Pythons. Again, I've gone over that story before. Miguel is looking after my retic, and he said he's an absolute monster. So, yeah, it's awesome. I actually own a retic, and I don't have to look after it. Thanks to Miguel. Okay, let's have a look. Any inputs, Gavin? So yeah, you guys know I love Ultramel. The one thing I want to see, the sunset looks great. It's just it browns out. When I've seen older, and I mean this with great respect, when I've seen the older sunsets, the females and the males, they tend to look very brown as opposed to the red and orange when they first hatch. So what I'd like to see is a combo which would hold that color. Now, Miguel, going back to Miguel, he's just brought a sunset clown which looks crazy, and the colors on that, I feel, because they're both recessives, may hold. I don't know, but Miguel is getting the orange dream into sunset, all that sort of good stuff. I know he's doing the albino because Brian Barczyk suggested that that's what he thought. So Miguel's obviously going to go and try that out. I hope Miguel hits some crazy colors with that Sunset and Albino project. For me, I don't think it will, but it'd be awesome to see in the flesh. But let's see, eh? We've all got this plan in our head and we have this vision of what something may look like, but it never ends up being that way. It could be something completely different. So it's always great to keep thinking. So let's, yeah, bullseye, ball pythons, ultramel, everything. Yeah, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Right. So let's go. Armor key reptiles, which is Ross. Gavin, what's your most anticipated pairing this year? Thanks again for your help with the channel. So my, oh, God, that's a difficult one, Ross. What are my most anticipated clutches? Oh, God, there's that every pairing, no word of a lie. Every pairing I'm doing this season, I am really, really looking forward to the outcome. I have some possets that I hope prove out. I have some double het projects which I hope I hit on the double het recessive, which is a Exantic Desert Ghost. Fingers crossed. Um, what else have we got going on? We've got some high intensity pairings going on, which I want to produce some high intensity stuff and hold it back. Yeah. Oh, God, mate, loads of. I'm even excited over some simple stuff like I've got a leopard spider, a Mojave leopard spider breeding a GHI female. The leopard GHI spider looks nuts, and we've got leopard in there as well. So it's going to be, for me, every pairing for me, mate, I'm really excited for. So, Gavin, what's SPR pythons? Gavin, what's your opinion on highway pied? Seems a mixed opinion. One, and I'm trying to get Enchi pin in the balance in the mix. Okay. First of all, highway pieds look awesome. And I think the good thing with this hobby is there's that many flavors for people to play with. We can all have our own little intake. And like you've mentioned there, you want to get Enchi and Pin in there and Banana. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Pin is very underrated still. I do believe Pin in highway pieds will look awesome. Even like, for example, if you've seen a fire pinstripe pied, the oranges on that look absolutely crazy. But yeah, highway pieds, any yellow belly complex, highway pieds, freeway pieds, super stripe pieds. Someone's going to be doing that this season. Will look absolutely awesome. So, yeah, I think it's a great project. I really do like it. I didn't go into highways. I went into the freeway. So I went into the asphalt because I wanted to be different. But yeah, uh, yeah, definitely a great project to be in. And I'm going to throw even a little something more in there. I'm also looking at, fingers crossed, hopefully producing some special pieds, and they are orange. So yeah, special pieds. So family jewels, I think the Desert Ghost will be amazing with the sunset. Yep. Again, so many things we can do with the sunset gene, with it being recessive as well. The longevity is absolutely awesome. So majestic. Someone's commented majestic, a banana monsoon sounds awesome. Yeah, did I tell you guys I've got some monsoon stuff? Okay. Couldn't agree more. Thanks, Gav. Okay. Pinstripe Pieds for the win. Yeah, State 48s. Welcome to the channel, Joel. Uh, Great to have you on board, my friend. Looking forward to our antics this year, as always. Yeah, Pinstripe Pieds, me and Joel have from State 48 Exotics have talked about this many, many times. Um, yeah, pinstripe in clown in pied, awesome, awesome combination. Uh, let's just see what else we've got going on. Special pods are incredible too. Yeah, again, we got so much we can do with that gene. It's just nuts. And since seeing it in pod, and it just looks phenomenal. I can't wait. It just reminds me of a tiger. I don't know if you guys have seen a special pod. It just reminds me of a tiger face. So many things to do with that gene. Yeah, Enchi. Put Enchi in this. I've got a pastel Enchi special female, um, and I'm currently breeding something to it, and hopefully going to produce some awesome holdbacks from that. Are you proving your leopard clown you got from Aussie out to sea? Yes, I am. The leopard clown that I got from Aussie, we now I know it's a het to a pos het, but even if I hit a black pastel leopard banana, 100% het pie, sorry, 100% het clown, posset pied, I'll keep that in my rack all day long. So I'm putting him to a few females to hopefully prove out whether or not he's het pied. Sunset pieds are in the works. Yes, they are. So we're currently at 58 minutes in. So I'm going to wrap this up around about an hour, guys. Okay. I have a picture of a super strong clown and a friend produced. Yes, I'm raising a girl up around a kilo now. I think the pair my inchy pod. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are in for some awesome, awesome pairings and seasons. So we've got Spartan reptiles, white spider to clown coming. Awesome. Um, okay, what else we got going on? So yeah, by the looks of it, everyone is in for an absolutely amazing season. Now, I just want to touch on a few things. Now, Joel over at State 48 Exotics, Joel is one of these people where he doesn't breed lots of snakes, but boy, does he produce some amazing combos. Amazing combos. Brian Cusco, he's another one. Hasn't got a massive collection, but what he produces is some crazy stuff. He produced some sunset stuff, which just Enchi sunsets. He was just crazy. So those are two gentlemen that I admire just because they buy the right things, they stick to their plans. And, for me, my plans sometimes I go in one direction, then all of a sudden, I divert and I go and I want to make this. Those two gentlemen stick on the track to what they want to make, they stick to it. And for me, those two guys, if you do want to start a small collection, check out Joel at State 48 Exotics. Check out Brian Cusco at Triple B TV and also Brian Cusco's channel. Check their guys out. Check their collection out. Not many snakes at all, but absolutely quality breeding. So, what else we got going on? Super Stripe Pieds should be being produced at Neighbour Constrictors next season. That'll be awesome, Darren. Fingers crossed to the Super Stripe. That's all I'm going to say. Crazy. Um, okay, let's have a quick look. What else we've got going on? Yeah, Stay 48. World's best, not world's first. It's damn right. That's how we roll. And that's the thing I want you guys to understand. It's not a rush. Produce quality over quantity. World's best, not world's first. I've had about 12 world's first over the years. I've never put them on World of Ball Pythons. I tried to put a few on. He kept sending me back the emails saying that the pictures were too high resolution. And in the end, I just thought, you know what? I can't be bothered with this. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna keep changing the format of the pictures and sending them back and then bouncing back. I just didn't bother. So for me, it's all about world's best, not world's first. Produce something that knocks you off your feet and knocks other people off their feet. That's better than producing any world's first. Trust me. Trust me. Okay. Going to disappear. Long days ahead. Yeah, adios, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah. So, listen, guys, I'm going to shut off now. It is. I've been over on this about an hour. So, I just want to thank you all for coming on tonight. I just want to say I do appreciate you all, love and respect you all. Again, your support is absolutely awesome. The balls to you culture, and I say this. I was talking to someone about this tonight. For me, it's not about me or the balls to you brand, it's about the community. And that's something that I urge people to keep getting involved in. Get involved, help each other, support each other, show people where they're going wrong if they will accept, a bit of constructive criticism. Some people can't be helped and you've just got to let them do their thing. But support each other, love and respect each other, help each other out. That's what it's all about. But for now, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next one.